Hello everyone, welcome back to SQLish, the channel that makes SQL simple and practical. In our previous videos, we learned about aggregate functions and basic group by clause. We have also learned the difference between the having and where clause to filter the data while fetching the data from your different tables. In this session, we will take it one step further and we will explore some real-world database group by examples where we combine it with the functions like year, month, and date. So basically, in this video, we are going to use the group by clause along with the different date functions, right? And by the end of this video, you will be confident using group by not just on a categories but also on a dates, months, years, and time-based data. So let's jump to the SQL Server Management Studio. Just a quick refresher, the group by clause we have seen. The group by clause used to group the rows with similar values, and it is usually used with aggregate functions like sum, average, count, mean, and max. In this video, we will use one simple sales table and see how the group by behaves when it is used with data. So this is the table we are going to use for our demo. So I'll be creating this table. If the table is already there, the drop table if exists command will drop the table, and then create table will be used to create the table sales data. Now in that table, I'm going to insert around 7 rows. Let's run the insert command. Now we have the data ready. We can just have a quick look over the data. So let's start from the sales data. So this is how the data will look like. It is having the sales ID, product name, the sale date, quantity, and the total amount. So each product is sold on which date and what is the quantity it is sold and what is the total amount of that products. Okay, so it is having a different products and different sale dates. So we are going to utilize this table to categorize the data, okay, to see the different use cases of the group by clause. In our previous video, we have seen the product along with their category, and we were able to group the data based on the category. But now in this video, we are going to explore the date functions and data type along with the group by clause. Okay, so now let's say we want to see the total sales per day, right? If you see here on a similar days, there are more than one products has been sold, right? So if you see here on 10/2, okay, I don't see any products has been sold on a different on the same dates. I could see all the dates are different here, but yeah, let's say you want to see the total amount for that particular day, okay, total sales amount that for that particular day, we can use the sale date column as a group by clause. So select sale date, sum of the total amount as a total sales from sales data, and group by the sale date. Now we see there are 7 rows. We are having 7 sale IDs, and all the sale IDs are having at a different date. So we may get the same number of rows in the result set, the 7 rows, and total sales of the total sales of the products on each of the date it is showing out here, right? So if you group by the data by sale date, it will calculate the total amount of the sale on that particular date. But as we have the data which is having the different sale date for each product, each sale ID, it is giving the same output as what we have in a table. Right. So here what group by will do is it will group it will combine the all the rows having the same sale date and calculate the total sales for that day. Right. Now let's say instead of sale date on a daily basis, we want to see the total sales on a monthly basis. Right. So in short, let's say we want to see the monthly sales report. Okay, so usually in the real business reporting, we don't just need a daily data. The business may need to have the monthly or yearly summaries of the data. Like the business persons, they want to know what is the monthly sales for all the products for the January, for the February, or so on. Or like summarize the data for all the months, like January, February, or March, like that. Okay, so how we can do that? So we can use the SQL date functions like month and year to extract the parts of the date, because what we need know in our table, we don't have a separate month-wise data. It is having a daily data. So if you want to calculate the data on January 2024, you need to extract the month and year part from this date. Okay, if you want to see the February 2024, you want to extract the month and year part from this date. So we can utilize the SQL date functions, right? Like month function, year function, to extract the parts of the date, and then we can group the data by year or month like that. Okay, so here is the query I have written. Select year of sale date. So this year function will extract the year part from the sale date. Month of a sale date, this function will extract the month part from the sale date. As a sale month, we are giving a license name and sum of the total amount. So this will calculate the total of the amount for that entire month and year combination. Okay, but when it will calculate, when we use these two columns in a group by clause. Okay, so now we can't use the sale date because we don't want to go by daily basis. We want to calculate the data based on a year and month combination, like January, February, March, April, like that. Okay, so the same year of sale date and group and month of sale date we can use in the group by clause to calculate the monthly report, monthly total sales for each month. Let me execute this query and you will see we'll be getting, for this sales year, we are having 3 months data into the table, and it is giving me the total of the sales for each of the month, Jan, Feb, and March. Okay, so here the SQL group by clause will group the data by each unique month and year combination. So all the sales in the same month will be combined, and we will be getting the total sales amount for that month. So this will be extremely useful for monthly dashboard, performance reports, and the business KPIs wherever you want to see the summarized data. Okay, now let's say you don't want to see the monthly data, you want to see the yearly data. I want to see the total sales for each year. Okay, so what we can do, we can simply remove the month of a sale date from the group by clause, and the data will be summarized using year of sale date. But for that, you need to make sure you are not having the month of a sale date column in the select list, because we know if you are using the column in select list, that should be either used in a aggregate function or that should be either used in a group by clause. So as we are going to remove the month column from the group by clause, we need to remove that from the select list as well, right? So this is the query we are having. Select year of a sale date as a sales year, sum of the total amount as a total yearly sales from the sales data group by the year. It will give me the total of sale for 2024. If there is any data for 2025, that will be also displayed over here. Okay, so if you want to see that, we can simply add one more record here to see how it will behave. Like, let's say 8, and we are just adding this to the 2025 and inserting one record here. Now I was inserted one record for 2025 as well. Okay, and now if you run the same query, you will see the total sale amount is there for 2 different years, right? So what this particularly do is it will group the data by year of the sales date. Okay, okay, now let's say we have seen the data we have calculated using the date functions and group by clause for the monthly reports. Okay, now let's say you want to calculate the reporting data by week, quarter, or even on a weekdays as well. So what we can do, we can use a date part function. We know the date part function is used to extract the part of a date, right? So using that date part functions, we can be more flexible, right? Which allows grouping the data by week, quarter, or even over the weekday as well, right? So by quarter, I have written the query here. So select date part. Okay, date part, quarter of the sale date as quarter, sum of the total amount as total sales from sales data group by date part, and quarter of a sale date, then order by quarter. This is not a mandatory clause order by, but yeah, we can have that. So it will simply displaying the total sale amount for each quarter. And as we know, the data is present only for the Jan, Feb, and March. So those 3 months are falling under single quarter. So it will give you the only one quarter's data here. Okay, if you add one more row into the table which is having the data from some different quarter, so that will be giving you the value. Okay, so let me add some data here which is from 6th of June. So it will give you the data which is there in the second quarter of the date, right? So let's execute the same query here, and you will see now the data is present for two different quarters because June month is falling under second quarter, right? So even instead of quarter, we can use week as well using the date part function to get the weekly total sales from the sale date, right? So you can see here week number 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12, 25. So this week number will start from the January 1st. January 1st to January 7 will be week 1, and like 8 to 14 will be week 2, and so on. It will calculate the week number. So we will be getting the total sales amount in each week. So this way we can group the data by weekly basis as well. Using date part function, we can calculate the weekly total sales as well, right? So we can simply use this approach to build weekly or quarterly reports, something analysts often do in a real project, right? So let's say now, let's make it a little more real. Imagine your boss asks you to show the total sales per product per month. Okay, so instead of just per month, they want to see the total sales for product as well. Like for this particular product on this particular month, what is the total sales? For an example, let's see the data first. Okay, for an example, I want to see the total sales for laptop for the January. Okay, so what we can do, for we can extract the year part from the sales year, month from month part from the sale date, and we can take the product name and we can use the group by clause, group by product for by year and by month. So it will calculate the data for each product and each month. We know like TV is there in a different months, right? So we will get the data here 2024, 2025, 2024 February as well. So for each product and each month, we'll be getting the data using this. Okay, if you want to filter, you want to see only the product is equal to laptop, you can filter the data using where clause as well. We can use simple where clause where product name is equal to laptop, and it will just give you the total sales for the product laptop on a different months, right? So we can use the where clause to filter the data as well. Okay, the next thing is like let's say you want to filter the data. Okay, whatever you have calculated the data total sales for each product and each month, now you want to see the summarize the data, okay, in some filtered format. Okay, you want to see only those products, okay, or you want to see only that data where the sales amount has been crossed to 50,000, right? So the sales amount is total for the month and year combination. Okay, so what we can use a having clause because it is a calculated amount. Total sales amount is crossing 50,000, right? So the same query sales of year date. Okay, for year and month combination, what is the total sales? And that we are going to filter using having clause to see where the total sales amount is greater than 50,000. So in this way, we will be calculating the data like in the month of Jan, Feb, and March of year 2024, the total sales is crossed the 50,000 mark, right? So in this way, we can filter the data which is aggregated. Right. So yeah, so simply we can just use this having clause to filter the data post the grouping, right? So only months where the total sales were more than 50K will appear in our output. Right. So what are the common mistakes we'll be doing here? So whenever we are using the functions like year or month in a select, we should must repeat the same functions in the group by clause as well. Okay, so whatever the date functions we are using, year, month, the same should be repeated here. So whatever is there in the select list, that should be used in a group by clause. Even we can see for the date part function as well, we are having the date part of week, and then same we are repeating here in the group by clause as well, right? So if the function is used, date function is used in select clause, the same should be repeated in the group by clause as well, if that is not referenced in any of the aggregate function. Okay, so that's all for this video. We have seen some important and some useful common scenarios in a real time, right, using the group by and date functions. So let's quickly summarize. So we have seen the group by clause, which is used to group the data with similar values. Then we can use the date functions like year, month, date parts for time-based groupings as well, right? Then we have seen we can combine the group by with multiple columns for multi-level summarize, and then we can use the having clause to filter the aggregated data, right? So these patterns are widely used in dashboards, monthly reports, and financial analysis. So that's all for this today's video. I hope now you understood how powerful the group by can be when it's combined with date and aggregations. If you found this video helpful, do like, share, and subscribe to the SQL Age. In the next video, we will explore the window functions, a step beyond the group by clause, where you can calculate the running totals, ranks, and moving averages without grouping the data. Thanks for the watching. See you in the next class. Thank you all.